AI is going to be huge. It's already very huge, and now who is going to control it?
That's why we are at TTI also, we are kind of integrating the AI also for the teachers.
In AI, you can get everything. Do that and be prepared for the other jobs too. The conventional jobs are not bad, but still, that is also a different perspective of how you look at it. Parents asking this question, what is your ambition in life? Because I go to school, I interact with the students. My ambition is to become an IAS, my ambition is to become the pilot. That is not an ambition, it's just a job.
So Arjun, now we have spoken about the how of the learning part, right? There were so many things that you have added. Quiz, you literally broke the myth of how do we see the quiz, and also the gamification, visualization, there were a lot of it. So now let's speak about the who of it, especially since you are into the UPSC mentoring. You might have seen many students coming to you from different backgrounds. So what I would like to ask from you is that when you train these people, because it is more about the executive level, right? It's not merely the reading and the writing and the rote learning or the reproducing. Of course, things have changed over the last few years, I would say, or more than 5 years. But still, what I am thinking about is that everybody who is cracking and moving forward in their career in the UPSC, they are meant to take care of or take the leadership of a particular district or a place, right? So how do you train them to reach that level? That is something that I wanted to know from you.
The training part, because you don't have to do anything in particular because the syllabus is already at that level.
Okay.
Only if you go through that syllabus, master the pattern and come out of that, you are selected for this. Because the examination is unfortunately competing for just less than 1,000 vacancies in India.
Yeah.
And for people out there, even IAS, IPS, you don't have 1,000 vacancies for each. You can have most probably around 180, 200 vacancies for IAS. And again, in that you have reservations too. So it again halves it to down. So there are 1,000 civil services, means there are 23 plus services. So you can get into any service. It's just one examination. So the syllabus and the pattern of the examination is designed in such a way that no matter how intelligent, how brilliant you are, if you do not absorb this, you're out of this league. So the idea is to make them go through the syllabus, which is a very varied syllabus.
Okay.
You have to write. That is the most important thing that the aspirants are struggling now. A lot of people believe that you have to write an entrance examination kind of a thing, which we call it as a preliminary examination. Like 13 lakh people in India, graduates apply for it. Less than 8 lakh, 9 lakh people write this examination, and only 13,000 to 14,000 people clear this.
Out of 8 or 9 lakh.
And 13,000 to 14,000 people write a mains examination called written examination. And out of that, only 3,000 or 3,500 people go to the interview. And out of that, only 1,000 people clear it. So the real thing is all about writing. Because as you said, in your career, you become a very important person. Definitely, that is how you start with civil services. If you get an IAS, you get to become a district collector, district magistrate, and later on a secretary, director level positions. And if you become a police officer, you get to become a superintendent of police, you become a commissioner. Slowly, DIG, IG, you go up the ladder. So, the writing is the most important part of this examination. Because your 1,750 marks in your written is added with the interview. They take the score together. So the ultimate key point is writing, and that is my point. A lot of people do not know to write. In UPSC, you have to write essays. Maybe you have an answer that should be written in 2 pages. So the main problem being, you can write an answer for 10 pages, but you don't know to write for 2 pages or 1 page. The point is brevity. People do not have brevity. You cannot condense it. That is a bad thing that we have learned over the years. A big role is actually played by the universities too.
I was about to ask that.
where you have to get a 10-mark question, you have to write for 5 pages, 6 pages. The teacher looks at the volume. But here, teacher looks at the clarity and the brevity. In 2 pages, you have to submit everything. With a good introduction, with a good body and a good conclusion too. So this takes a lot of time. And I have seen people struggling, especially the doctors and engineers who have stopped writing. Because doctors, engineers, a graduate, they don't have to write so much essays like the art students or a art student have to write. So they also struggle to cope up. So I was actually thinking, apart from civil services, the biggest reason why I ventured into my interest for children's education amplified was the number of students who come to me in UPSC examination. Average age is 25, 26. They come out after a PG, they come out after degree. You cannot change them.
True.
You can teach them the content which their intellectual capacity absorbs, but you cannot change their basics. It will take time.
I totally agree.
They are not able to write the right way. So when you're not able to write that way, I cannot start teaching them to teach them to write all of a sudden, which they have not done in at least say 10 years. They cannot master it in 1 or 2 days. They struggle a lot. So whatever thing I have put out here, as a civil services mentor, gave me the inspiration and the right demand to think in this direction. I wanted to do something,
Yes.
but this gave me the correct direction and the correct problem what need to be understood. Then I understood civil services interview, one of the most toughest interviews in the world, we say. They don't test your academic level, they test your personality level. Even IAS interview, it is not called as an interview, it is called a personality test. They test you. They ask you questions from your life. Because they have a form called Detailed Application Form, DAF, we call it DAF, where you've written down your hobbies, the place of your birth, the work of your profession of your parents, the schools that you have studied, the course, everything can be a question in the interview. So the problem being people are not able to answer. That's a very serious concerning thing. They know to write. Some people don't even know to write, but some people know to write, but speaking is a different concept. They're not able to express their thoughts freely.
I was about to say this because when I asked this question, I was expecting a lot of complex answers from you. But we came back to the very basic skill first with writing that you said. And the second one, I think that it's the ability to express themselves. So you are telling that these are the challenges.
I would actually add one more. I think already we have talked about in the introduction part. It's the concept. Knowing the concepts, the basic concepts is the most important thing. That is a part of the learning system. The examination really checks that. I can give you an example. Once there was I think you must have all read about now we are living in the era of 5G. Back then, the 2G was a great thing, and 2G spectrum was a big time problem in India.
Yeah.
The 2G spectrum scam, lakhs of crores
Yes.
It was huge corruption. And that time everybody was focusing on the current affairs. You were studying how much money, who took how much money, what was the extent of the scam. 2G spectrum was in the news. And that year, in the mains examination, the written examination, they asked a question: what is the difference between 2G, 3G, 4G?
Oh God.
Then look at from the outer perspective. You know how much money was diluted? How much money was involved in corruption? Who all was involved in corruption? 2G. But you basically don't know what is 2G and 2G, 3G. So look at how they ask the question. They ask very basic questions. And that is their way of eliminating aspirants. You ask something very basic,
And they don't know.
even the toppers don't know it. They don't know the basics. So basics, concepts, writing and speaking out your opinion. If you have these 3 skills, wrap it with your hard work or the determination to work for it, then you can clear it. Without all this thing, see, this is a good formula for civil services, but I'm sure you take any examination. This 3 skills is a part of this examination, part of the syllabus. When I found out that even the graduates, the students, as you started off from the big colleges, from the big schools, IITs, do not have this, I was amazed to see, and I found out the answer was lying in their childhood.
True.
Then I realized that is the reason why I started teaching them the story of money, how to print currency, because that is very essential. With this level of learning, when they go up to 2023, things will be very easy for them.
And I'm sure that if you are going through this path, surely you will be again, coming down to the early childhood because
Exactly.
it happens.
See, I don't know how many of my colleagues are realizing this fact, because this is also 2 school of thought. One school is actually you teach heavily the subject content, feed them with the IA stuff, whatever you need this.
Even
But-
we have programs for that.
Exactly, we
from
have
the very
this.
small age.
Exactly, but the problem being, even if you feed all this thing, I strongly believe I actually see a lot of psychology in everything. Because for me, I strongly believe it's all psychology. You have to teach them. Even in civil services, I'm teaching them to have endurance too. Because to crack an exam, endurance is not even a part of the curriculum. How do you apply all this when you don't have endurance? It's like you have all those, like the Puranic times, you have all the Divyastras in your body, but your body is not able to handle the astras. And what is the point of having all the astras? You don't know to invoke the astras. You should also be taught to have endurance. One thing that I teach my students is examinations, whatever examinations you prepare, it's not the content alone, it's your mindset. One thing that I teach them is a very important factor, which you will definitely understand. And that very important thing is, imagine you watch cricket.
Once in a while.
Once in a while,
But I understand the rules.
you understand the rules, right? Imagine 4 balls, 20 runs. You're in the crease, batting it. 4 balls, 20 runs. That means you need to hit 3 sixes and probably a 4 or a different combination. Even 3 fours and 1 6 might even give you a chance.
Yeah.
But not probably, but still, the whole country is watching in the stadium, the TV. You're in your pressurized zone. Just imagine the number of students. A student who is very intelligent, who know everything, who has the opinion, who has the content, who has the writing, but if he doesn't have the endurance, he'll miss the ball. He'll be under pressure. So that's why people say Mahendra Singh Dhoni is a very cool captain. Even when you have 3 balls, 18 runs, he'll hit 3 sixes and he'll win the match. He's not under pressure. So that is the real test. Teaching them everything, giving them all the content, making them empowered will not make them really empowered. You need to teach this mental skill too, to handle the things. You asked a very important question. Maybe you didn't ask it, you actually mentioned it. They are the people who are going to be the future change makers. They're going to control the district. They're going to control the country. So this pressure system, handling this pressure system should also be a part of the curriculum. Examinations also pressures like situation like this, where you have 3 balls, 18 runs. You're pressurized. If you don't know to handle that, your system will collapse.
True.
So this is also a part of that.
My next question was very much connected to this one, because since you spoke about the endurance, and suppose they have given a good shot and they have got their results. Of course, you said only 1,000 seats are there. There are so many people who have been trying for that for a maybe number of years, or someone who have merely cracked it, but maybe for 1 or 2 scores or something, they might have missed it, or someone who have done that, but they missed their interview or the next level of examination. So what actually happens to those students, because we have seen a number of news as related to that, where they are not able to handle that public shame that they're getting, especially with public side. That's one thing. Sometimes
I face a lot of public shame.
Even I do every day.
Exactly.
Yeah, but when it comes to this part, I'm telling, especially the students, right? So when the parents are speaking to them, or maybe the society, the family, the way they respond to these people who have not come out successfully from the exams or through the exams. So in your experience, what literally, what is that thing that they are undergoing, or how do you train them when it comes to this part?
I'll actually give out also in different parts. One thing is, there is a lot of shame. What you said, it's not shame, it's a trauma.
Yeah.
And one more thing, UPSC creates one of the biggest literate unemployeds in India. Look at the 13 lakh people. They're all graduates from very, very recognized universities of people who are really good. They're not working. Most of them are not working. Most of them are aiming for this examination. And it's like a loop. We strongly advise, UPSC is increasing the number of attempts, but we strongly recommend the aspirants that if you're not able to crack it, give yourself some time, maybe 3 or 4 attempts. If it is not working, do not push yourself. Leave it. It's not worth that. Because Your youthfulness is actually lost in this. We used to joke inside our classes. When we used to teach, we tell the students, you start up as a boy and end up as an uncle. In UPSC preparation, you really start up as a boy in 20,
It's more or
21,
less the same.
21. You end up as an uncle still writing the examination 32.
One of my friend is doing that. I know that.
So do not be obsessed. If things are not working, maybe it's time to call it a day and stop it. Do something greater. Because the preparation in UPSC will make you more aware. It will give you new dimensions which otherwise you would have never got.
True.
Because that is a syllabus level. You learn probably almost everything around the world. You get dimensions, what is happening in the world. You get a new dimension, you get a new a habit. You're a new person. That will definitely make you win in whatever profession you go. This is what I've seen. People who have really prepared for UPSC, they're all doing something great in their profession because they have that edge. On the contrary, negative side, a lot of people who are still stuck at that place. I know a lot of people who do not work.
Oh.
Because they've all manifested that one day they'll become an IPS officer or an IFS officer, leading the country's delegates or being a collector, being a district magistrate. So what happens is they're not ready to work in any other job which is lesser than that. Because you have yourself placed yourself in that ambit. You're not ready to come down. That is also very negative.
That's a really sad scenario.
That is a sad scenario, but think about yourself. You dreamt of, wearing the uniform and going in the car with a beacon. That's a great feeling, and that's a dream that people see. I don't say that is the greatest thing. But when you're a student, then definitely these are the things that you manifest. And imagine that you're working in a clerical job in government. You will not be happy. That is one reason why a lot of people are not at calm. A lot of people are dissatisfied in life. So what you need to do is you need to go out of this. If you do not push yourself. Greater opportunities are there with you because you have learned, you have become a new person. Try out new things. UPSC is not the end of the world. Becoming an IAS or becoming an IFS is not the end of the world. There are greater things that you can do. You can be a startup founder. You can start working in anywhere. You should explore it. And number one thing, next is the trauma that you have. The society will pull you down. It will beat you to the core.
For sure.
I can actually imagine the problem being everybody around me knew that I was preparing for UPSC because I was clearing the examinations at different stages. I was getting closer. So everybody in my family and everybody thought that I will make it. But every time in the final, I don't make it. So that is a problem. Each and every time the results come, my parents used to get the calls. There were times when my mother used to put down the receiver.
Oh.
They know that I'm not cleared. They'll see some Arjun in the news and they'll keep calling my parents. Did Arjun clear it? Did Arjun make it? So this is a big problem. So there were times when I didn't go out for programs, marriages, weddings. They'll simply keep asking about, what is your IPS? What about your position? When are you going to get in? How long are you going to be jobless? So trauma is definitely there. One thing that you can do is do not publicly proclaim that you're going to write this exam. Sometimes, biggest wise thing is to do it secretly. India has a lot of centers. You can go and write the exam in Bhopal, Shimla. Take a trip.
It's true. No,
Take a trip. Why do you have to publicly proclaim? Because in Delhi and other places, it's preparing for civil services is a credit. It's an extra added advantage in the marriage market. If the girl is preparing for the civil services, or the groom will think, oh, great, she's a very intelligent girl. Vice versa. If he's preparing for civil services, even dowry things are even managed in this. So it's a status symbol. But I strongly suggest, do not openly proclaim it. If possible, do it. Let the success make the noise.
No, though you have said it in a very funny way, but it's true.
So it's a true fact. Trauma, obsession, you have to cut down this. I've given you two sides of the scenario. People who positively use it, people who are still stuck at that. I know a lot of different cases, people who have died.
Yeah, that's what.
Close acquaintance, people with in my circle. He died of heartbreak. He died actually out of heart attack. He was close to in his early 40s. He didn't do anything in his life. He was always obsessed with that. I never cleared it, my dream job.
Okay.
And he did not do anything else because he could not place him anything other than this. These are all obsession. You have to go out of this. This is just an exam. The world is so beautiful. Explore it. That is what I have done.
Okay. So, with respect to what you have said now, is there anything that you do, because you right now said that you just tell the students, you make them understand, but is there anything that we can do on a functional level where we can help them to get trained on that part as well?
Like in what exactly?
No, because they have, as we discussed right now, they have done the examination. Maybe they are not able to make it out. But still, see, right now we discussed it on a surface level. We discussed it. But the trauma, as a person who have undergone that, you might be knowing it. But luckily, you were able to, move out
I
of
used
that.
it in a very positive way.
Okay, that's it. See, if someone is not able to make it and they are not able to move forward, so what is the kind of guidance that we can give? Something on a functional level, not just as an advice, because we know many times advice never works. So is there something that we can do, just like you are doing? You told me that you have different startup quiz centers you're setting up with people, so like that, something on a
I'll
functional
actually
level.
answer that with Risha, because you know what? There is a one more angle to that. Psychological level is one angle, financial level is another angle. All the aspirants who are preparing for this, say they're preparing for 5 to 6 attempts, they spend a lot of money from their parents, from their hard-earned money. So at one point of time, when you exhaust your 5 to 6 attempts, you almost exhaust lakhs of rupees. So in that position, psychological upliftment is just a small remedy to make you normal. Immediate priority for all the other people, when you look back, you feel that you have lost a lot of money. You have to cover it for that. So I see a lot of people crazily working to get some job. So that is one aspect. And the other aspect are people who do not. So my guidance would be to definitely make them make them work, get employed somewhere where you can use all your skills. Would be one suggestion that I always give them. Because now you are not the person who you used to be 3 years or 4 years back. You have varied knowledge on different subjects, you have different ideas. Work on, make use of that, employ yourself so that you stay happy. Because what happened, I'll tell you one thing, when you are in your prime, when you finish your UPSC preparation by 30, 32, you'll not be employed. Companies will not be interested to employ you because you have other 21, 22 students with children with 22 or 23 who are much more competent and vibrant than you. So choose places which gives you value. So I normally recommend people to find something good. Do not, don't keep writing exams again. If you're not clearing it, what is the point of wasting your time? Get settled, be happy, and do something better. This is one such aspect that I give. And the second important thing is for the people who are psychologically down. For them, you need to really push them up. That is
because I asked this question from the perspective of a neuro coach, where we'll be able to help them to, just break through that.
Definitely there is a huge scope for that. A lot of people really break down. And the biggest problem is they don't seek help. They don't feel like seeking help because a lot of ego comes in when you prepare for this examination. You feel that you are something. That is the worst part.
And all of a sudden,
that is the worst part of this examination. When you learn, you feel that you start manifesting to a top position and you don't get it. A lot of ego creeps in. You have to cut down that ego. If you really need help, go get some help. There is no harm, no shame in seeking help. That message should also be very clear. Because if you do not seek the help at the right time, then you're worsening your life, worsening your whole system.
Yes. So just related to this, just one more thing that I wanted to know. To the parents whose children are actually preparing for the UPSC exam, what is that one message that you would want to give to them?
Do not write this exam just for the status, just for the fancy ambition. That's a good thing. This is one good job. This is not the end of the world. This is not a great profession or the biggest profession. I see a lot of people, parents asking this question, what is your ambition in life? Because I go to school, I interact with the students. My ambition is to become an IAS. My ambition is to become the pilot. That is not an ambition. It's just a job. What is your ambition? What is the thing? People don't have that answer. I got an answer from a very young girl in 6th standard. She said, I want to be happy.
Oh, that's lovely. Okay.
That was a lovely answer. See, how many officers who are in the IPS? Once you're in the IPS, then your ambition is over. then the real life starts. So life and your ambition are totally different. That is a career.
I remember me telling I want to be an engineer, but I never learned it, okay? I haven't even made a small effort. But when I was in third standard, somebody asked me, what is your ambition? I said, my ambition is to become an engineer. I didn't know that science was there inside it. And I don't like to, learn so much because it was taught to us in a different way. Yeah, I do remember telling this.
That is why you should know what is your ambition is, and that is a career. Career can be an ambition, but what you choose to do with that career takes you to the next point. Career is an option. So what if you are coming to the civil services, if you're planning to join this, have this idea that it is just a job, it is just a career, and you need to chisel off what you are. Because this system here, the syllabus out here is a very different thing. Come out, just like we say, it's an enemy. Just like imagine that you are actually a king and you have another enemy country the other side. You are in a war. The first thing that you'll do is strategy. You'll understand what are the negatives of your country, the opponent, figure out and plan your strategy how to beat it. Work out this too. There are a lot of strategies that you need to change. You need to chisel yourself, be a different person, and work for it. If you do not get it, move on. You've just tried it. That should be the spirit.
Yes. Okay, so now we have spoken about this part. I wanted to ask a little more bit forward, thinking something which is towards the future, I would say. When it comes to the Indian learners, because we have been speaking about this part only, so I just wanted to mention this. And you have said that you have published in US as well. So what is, in your opinion, are we, the Indian learners especially, are we focused more on the traditional degrees, and because of that, are we missing out on great things in our life?
To some extent, yes. The most interesting thing according to the study is in 2030, a lot of new jobs are going to come which we don't even know now, which our system will not even know. So are we prepared for the future is the next question. Now there is a lot of difference. So apart from the new degrees have come on, now it is that possibility maybe for the parents and students to think about the future, and breaking out the conventions is not an easy task. Not every parent or student is willing to do that. How many percent of the parents or students are able to take a chance or risk there? We had a friend in a common circle who was working with a sports car. He was an engineer and he used to work with the sports car and the making. So I don't think how many mechanical engineers out here will be able to even think about this. It was his passion. He chose to chase this, and finally he landed up where he really wanted to be in.
Oh.
So there are a lot of opportunities which we should find out in the next 5 to 6 years. A lot of new things are going to come up. AI will be actually huge. Even now AI is high. Now controlling the AI, people who control the AI will be a new group of people.
That's true.
AI is going to be huge. It's already very huge, and now who is going to control it? We have concepts like human on the loop, human in the loop. So definitely humans will control AI, AI will control humans too. So we cannot leave the technology apart. So humans who will control the AI, who is going to make it? Institutions, organizations will start using it. Just like the computers. Back in the 80s when nobody used computers, now without this nothing works. Anybody who knows computer has a job now. Every job is a part of this. Likewise, technology, not only AI, a lot of things are going to come in. So you need to really plan and look at those opportunities. A lot of opportunities may not outcome directly in India too. There are opportunities outside. Look up to that, explore, find out. As a student, one thing inquisitiveness and research is very important.
True.
Research is very, very important. You have to research a lot. Doesn't mean that you do an academic research. Whatever you want, you just start studying about it. Research takes you a lot of places, at which I think students should actually master this. Whatever you want, research on it. Find out the opportunities. Where is it? Previously, researchers were very limited. Now it's so wide.
Easy.
With a click, you can get everything. In AI, you can get everything. Do that and be prepared for the other jobs too. The conventional jobs are not bad, but still, that is also a different perspective of how you look at it. we, as a country, as a global community, we definitely need conventional systems too. So there is a big question. Once I was taking a session, in an open session for the parents. I was explaining them a different type of new jobs that might come in.
Okay.
Different type of data analysts who will actually, what will be the data analyst doing in 2030? So one parent asked me, what is wrong being an engineer or a doctor? The world will still need doctors and engineers. So I said, with all respect, so with all due respect, conventional jobs should also exist. But even the conventional jobs will need to have technologies coming in.
Yes.
So as students, you need to open to all this. How many chartered accountants or how many accountants or managers, so putting it simply, now how many of them really know to write a letter? So open question. Without Google's or without ChatGPT's help, how many of you
Even
can...
I use it, okay.
It is okay to you. That is why you need to use it. We don't have to write a letter now, because if ChatGPT is saving us time, you need to know ChatGPT too.
True.
Today you learn ChatGPT, in 2029 there will be another technology. We need to keep upgrading, because whatever upgrades come, this upgrades is going to come to the conventional jobs too.
Yeah.
So in conventional jobs who do not know to work those technology, just 30 years or 25 years back, in banking we had the core banking system. A lot of banking professionals, my father was from a banking community, so I know about this. A lot of people, bank professionals, took voluntary retirement because they left out the old ledger and booking system. They moved on to the core banking, the computer system. A lot of the old employees were not willing to learn. They were left. And people who were willing to learn, they moved on with the system. That is the same thing. Even in your conventional job, AI or anything, let's put X, Y, Z, the new technologies will start coming, they'll start occupying, they'll start visiting your conventional jobs. If you do not know to adopt it, then you're out of this conventional jobs too.
So you mean to say that since we can place AI as a specialist, right? Because whatever you want to get in a click of, just in seconds, you'll get the answer. So is it about us being a generalist who knows a little bit of everything to manage this whatever in AI era? Or is it that you're telling we just need to cope up with this, but at the same time, you still be a specialist on what you do?
I would actually rate it, there are two options. Either to be a generalist or be a specialist.
So you say both are fine?
It's a choice actually. If I chose to be my point being, in today's emerging world, in the days and years to come, AI is just a beginning. You'll have other X or Y concepts will come in, will invade us. The point being, if you're going for a specialist job, which nobody can help you in that, because you'll be the first person to think about it, create a way, create a path and move forward. So that's a difficult thing. If you want to be a specialist on something, maybe as I gave you an example of a sports car manufacturer, you want to be a tea taster. Tea tasting is a great thing. So you want to be a tea taster. How many of you even understand? You family will understand that he's tasting teas. What is this, a job? So there are a lot. If you chose to be a specialist, work on it. If you want to be a generalist, be open to technology. Because now we are at the cusp of the thing where even generalists will have to be upgraded with technology, or else you lose out your momentum of job.
That's why we are at TTI also, we are kind of integrating the AI also for the teachers so that they can use it.
Exactly. They need to. If you choose to be a generalist, that is fine. But be open to technologies and upgrades. Because the world, being a generalist, you tread a path. All of a sudden, you cannot become a specialist. You are lived on this path. So if you have to advance in this path, give hand to the technology and adapt it. Open to that learning system.
We have almost reached at the end of the podcast, and I wanted to ask this one question from you, which I had in my mind from the very beginning, because you have been mentoring the students for the UPSC. You are conducting parallelly the quizzes at different, organizing at different schools. Sometimes it's open, and you have introduced edutainment, gamification. You have that platform. So many things are running parallelly. The one thing that connects all this is the education.
Exactly.
Knowing the people, or maybe understanding the child. And you already said that you have traveled back to the age because you felt like it needs to be fixed over there, right?
Exactly.
So, in your mind, Arjun, in your imagination, if you could literally redesign education, maybe of the primary kids or maybe even of the higher level, what is one thing that you'd like to include in assessing their quality and not just the academic excellence that we have been speaking about, but just the rote learning, everything comes inside that. So, what is that one thing that you feel in future you wanted to work on or something that you want to completely
Your question
redesign?
has absolutely coincided with what I've done. I've already introduced you
Yes.
about Gallup,
Yes.
our quizzing app. In that, I've created a new concept. It is actually in pilot. The concept is mental print.
Okay. I think we haven't discussed about that
No,
part.
we
right?
haven't discussed because I didn't say because it was too early to say.
Okay.
But you asked this question, I thought I'll reveal it.
Okay.
Mental
great.
print is my next visionary thing that I wanted to work. A small mental print is existing in my app through AI. I've connected it. The idea of mental print is, I strongly believe in that through the app, children get an opportunity to respond to a question,
Okay.
respond to a story. I'll give you an example. The first question that we have piloted in the app is, it's a boy called Arjun. I've kept my name. It's a boy called Arjun. He was playing in the football ground and he got a wallet from the ground. He took the wallet and he opened the wallet. He saw there was money,
Oh.
a lot of money, and a medical bill, and the ID card of a person. So he just kept it. So he looked around for anybody who was going to come, but he didn't see anybody coming in. His bus was almost there. As bus, he saw he heard the honking sound of the bus. The bus was almost near, and he was opening the purse, the wallet, and he saw that the boots, the football boots that he really wanted, could have been bought with this.
Okay.
So there is money in his hand now, and there is nobody. He saw a medical bill again. Somebody is in need of medicine. What? The bus has come. What will Arjun do? This
It's quite interesting.
is a key question. My point being, children are not taught about the real world problems in the schools. Knowing the theory, knowing trigonometry, knowing differentiation, integration, knowing the theories of physics, chemistry is good to know the concepts. But concepts are not what we live in the real world.
Exactly.
We are all living our life. Concepts, all the things that we learn are used only to make a living. The real world problems are different. Am I right?
True.
The way we interact with our spouses, with our family, with our office, with your teammates. This is not even taught.
Anywhere.
This is not even taught anywhere. You're let it open. Let you go and discuss. So my concept is mental print. I've created few parameters.
Wow.
So this is a new launch. That is maybe I'm using this platform to launch it. There is a section called mental print. You can play this. Each of this comes with a story, with a visual. You understand the story, and you have to speak the answer. If you are in Arjun's position, what will you do? And there is no clear-cut answer to this question.
True.
AI will actually find out the answer, and based on our parameters, AI will map your thinking level. If you give an answer, because AI is capable of doing it right now. So I've integrated with technology too, and it will give you a detailed mental printout. It will give you a PDF listing out all the thinking level that you have done. If hi Risha, the idea of you keeping the purse into the bus was a good idea because you said, I'll not leave it down, I'll give it to my parent. My parent who look at the ID card will make sure that the ID goes to the right person. So your line of thinking was a very responsible thinking, Risha. So your decision-making uncertainty is good. There are certain parameters that are going to come in. So I strongly believe mental print is just a beginning. My future vision is to take this mental print to the schools where even it can be created as an alternative progress card. As a teacher, as a parent, you only know how much you scored in your CC, how much you scored in your physics, how much you scored in your maths. Your art was good, your sport was A+. What else? You don't even know how your child thinks.
That alternative progress card.
Exactly.
Literally struck down me.
My future, I've already started working. In less than 10 days, it will be out.
Wow.
I am working on this mental print now. Maybe in the years to come, I'm strongly thinking of how to work on this mental print and how to take it forward.
That's amazing. Okay, that's wonderful. And one more final question from my end, because to our TTAI teachers or going to be teachers very soon, what is that one message that you want to give from the perspective of a mentor, a trainer, a quiz master, someone, above all, someone who always thinks about the children? It's not about what we teach the children, but how they learn it. So, what is that one message that you want to give?
The message is very simple. Always look at the other side. If you're on the other side, project yourself on the other side. Will you like what you're going to teach? Will you enjoy what you're going to do in that? If you can do that devil's advocate, if you can project yourself on the other side, then you can know that you might be a very boring person.
True.
You might be a very boring person. So it is not a job that you do. I teach because it's my job. It's to make money. I need to live. I need to survive. Don't teach for that. That's a part. That's the extra complement of teaching.
True.
But just think, how will you make it interesting? Just stand yourself. Can you withstand yourself that? On both the sides, you're standing there. As a child, as a teacher, will you even enjoy 1 minute of what you're doing right now? Think about it. Close your eyes and ask yourself this question. All the teachers. If you find that it's a very boring session, then obviously you're corrupting your profession.
True.
I truly resonate that because I know whatever I teach, I always think about this way. That is why I said the answer is very simple. I always think whatever I'm doing, will it be entertained? Will it be entertaining? Will my alter ego standing out there, will he like it? If he's enjoying it, I'm sure. You know why I said this? Because the age group matters.
True.
It is not the same pill for all the ills. The pills are different. If you see it's a bigger child, so imagine, project yourself down the line. Think him in his shoes. Oh, so change your thing. Money, survival, everything is part. Then it's already coming part. It's already coming in your way. It's just a part of the whole system. If you're a good teacher, project this. There was a very famous essay called "The Functions of a Teacher." It's written by Bertrand Russell. I strongly suggest that all the teachers. It's a small essay. The Functions of a Teacher. It's written by Bertrand Russell. It's a very good essay to read. He talks about who is a good teacher, but I'm extending his thoughts to a modern time of projecting yourself to the other side, adding a bit of psychology to that. If all the teachers can able to do this, then probably it's not a job. It's a great thing that you're doing.
Of course, teaching is a divine profession. So
I treat it that way.
Yes. So with that, we come to the end, and it was totally, I would say, an insightful, myth breaking for me also, because being a neuro coach, I have learned a lot about the psychology part, learned about certain areas, but still, as you said, everywhere we look, we see, we speak, there are clues. We need to be able to join the dots.
That's the
and read it.
golden takeaway from this session.
Yeah.
Inspiring for children, teachers, everybody who watch it. So there are clues everywhere.
Yes, there are.
Teach our children to find out that life becomes very easy.
Wow, wonderful. It was a productive session, Arjun. So thank you so much
Absolute
for
pleasure
sharing this.
from my side.
And you literally showed us how you can be a lifelong learner and teacher. And to be very honest, I'm speaking this from the bottom of my heart. I am seeing such a passionate teacher after a really long time, a mentor, a coach. Because
It's my honor.
What is it?
It's my honor.
No, I'm really honored to be here to speak to you, because I have spoken to many people. I've learned I've understood what they are trying to say, but many times I feel like disconnected. This is the first time that you have actually made me think like a child, how I used to when I was a student. So literally I'm saying, feeling very complete after meeting a teacher after a really long time. So thank you so much.
That is why I said project yourself, because as a teacher, even great teachers, when you go and sit in a session, great teachers feel lost. They feel irritated. So just imagine, if we don't teach the right way, what will be the students thinking about us?
True.
So think in that way.
So that's what. Thank you once again.
My pleasure, absolute pleasure to be on this podcast, and looking forward for greater sessions like this.
Sure.
And greater collaborations too.
Hopefully, we are also looking forward for the same. So
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Arjun. To our listeners, remember, education isn't a destination, it's a neural evolution. At Teach Talks India, we believe that when the many voices of experts like Arjun meet the one vision of a transformed classroom, the possibilities are limitless. If you are ready to take the next step in your own professional edge, visit us at teachersindia.in. Explore the programs, join our community, and let's continue to rewire the future together. I'm Risha Sheikh. Thank you for listening to Teach Talks India. Keep learning, keep evolving, and we'll see you in the next frequency.